Like you mentioned this Brunswick's lens model. How do we read that?
How do you use that?
So how do we read that model where you mentioned that achievement, ecological validity, and uh, users, that the whole. How do we? How
You
do
mean
we
like
read it?
like read
How
the
do we
paper?
understand it?
Oh, it's just that the different users have different lenses, and so you have to know what the lenses are, and then you can understand your users differently. It's more this concept.
But it's dynamic. It's like the same user will probably use a different lens after some time.
They might, but it might be like there's a fear? Maybe they're driven by fear, or they're driven by saving money, or they're driven by. And that's often one sort of thing. Yeah. Okay, so we've got the measures of trust. I think that's going to be the most interesting. The speculative fiction stories are really fun. I think you should read them if you haven't. We've got 5 good ones. And we did the product analysis. I had the overview here is like, okay, well, I think it's too complicated. So I want to do measure of trust because I think this gets really interesting and different. So for Anirban and Kiran, you want to come talk trust? Come talk through in like 2 or 3 minutes. Talk us through your thing. Come on. So face them because you're talking to them, not me, and I'll drive. Actually, I'm trying to think of how to do this. Ideally, you'd face me and them, but the cable's not very long. So maybe stand like over here and try to project over there. Can the others be a little quieter than average so we can hear your peers? Okay. So what did you decide? What sort of trust interactions did you have?
So our team where we have 2 members. So my name is Kiran Suryasaukar and this is Anirban. So and you must first explain. Just explain first basics.
First, as the task was given that we have to do an interaction with each other, and we can. So we have to decide whether how we can trust each other, and so I have just put this discussion only here that we were given an assignment and we were discussing how to set the parameters for making our trust, so we can quantify it in an easy manner. So I have just put this task. So at the end we did this teamwork, and till the end we have completed the task. We give a score to each other based on that formulation.
Okay,
And
let me take up the bot part. Okay. The next part was how we were interacting. There were 2 methods that for the communication. One was human and human and AI. So I am from specifically AI department, so I have done the AI task much more. So when we were talking with each other from human perspective, the human score, the interaction score was much more over as compared to the AI. We use 2 models that are Gemini and ChatGPT, and we found that Gemini is a little bit more trained on empathetic and correct decision making, while ChatGPT gives wrong answers as it is not accurate and it has been not trained in parameter modeling or something like empathetic modeling measures.
so the method that we have given, the trust score, are based on 4 parameters. One is the reliability, one is the integrity, another one is the competence, and the benevolence. So we have given the simple formula, and there is also a part of weightage where this 0.35, 0.30 and 0.25 are there. So these weightage can be changed depending upon the situation or the kind of job or activity you are doing. and it is a total score within of 1, and the scores that are given for R, I, C, D, these are from the like kind of Likert scale where we are giving the rating within 0 to 10. So 0 is indicating non-existence or a more in the negative portion, which is kind of failure or something, and 10 is a perfect score where we are much more comfortable, we can give around 10. So this is the trust table, and based upon the calculations we get a result within 0 to 10. So here we are doing the trust score calculation. So
Okay, at last point, when we tried the test score method that Anirvan has developed, I used it to test with, when we were interacting, we both tested it with each other, and we found that the human-human interaction score is usually high, because when we are talking with a person, then we likely empathize with them more and try to understand them more as we are talking with a chat bot. While when we are talking with a chatbot, we may think that it is wrong or it may be correct because it is not trained specifically over in some particular things, or it could be accurate. We have to test it out. But while in human, we know that they could be right or they could be wrong, but they should be right most of the time.
Nice. So, are you seeing anything as you listen to this? Is there something that they might be missing? For like this work seems to work pretty well. It seems like you're sort of happy with your score, right? So they've got the reliability, integrity, competence, benevolence. Does that take care of scoring some of the interactions? Like would their score work on the interactions y'all had in your groups? Or you're more like, I don't know, it leaves out, whether or not you like fruit or something. I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying random things. Yeah.
Maybe they have a cognitive bias, social desirability bias, because they have rated each other higher, which may be objectively correct, but also to come across as.
So maybe their score for the score for the human part may not be as accurate because of the social desirability bias. That could be. But that I'm not sure that doesn't necessarily point to a gap in their formula, right? That could just be a gap in their scoring method or something like maybe they have
Because we
to.
both interacted with each other, we had a high trust score build up, so the interaction score was more. But if it is with a different person and it is very new, there could be a less chance of score, but it will definitely be more than the chatbots.
Yeah.
so that's why that weightage has been added, so that you can modify it according to the task.
Any other suggestions for their score?
So
Hmm?
then probably we will have to understand what's reliability and how they've understood integrity, competence, and benevolence.
So what's the difference? You're saying they have to distinguish better. What's the difference between these 4 factors? So maybe it's not as clear how to score some of these factors. I don't know.
So the explanation part is not there, but as in the first conversation part, we have mentioned that in which kind of things we have discussed, like from the background which we are sharing, or the age difference we are having, or what kind of thoughts we are having. So based upon that, we have given the scoring. So it was not in detail that much, but we choose these 4 parameters suitable for this
Yeah.
job.
So maybe
it
if you
can
want,
be much more explanatory also. We can modify it according to the usage.
yeah. So if you wanted other people to use your
Yeah.
formula, you'd need to maybe give them more direction or something.
That's why we can change the scores also, or
The weights.
Weightage
weights
we have
also.
given.
Yeah. Okay. I think we're good for now, right? Let's get another one. Thank you, guys. Nice job. All right, we got number 2. Suti Karnas.
Sir, if they can stand this side,
Sorry?
if they can stand this side, like they're not visible in the camera, only the back side.
Oh, I see. The camera. So. Oh, if I can stand here? You want me to move or them to move?
They,
So if they move, then they're on camera. And I guess that's fine. Their back will be to me, but that's okay.
no, like they're standing here and facing the
Okay, no, that's good. Yeah, go do that. And they can, if ideally they're talking to both me and the people Yeah.
And you can also start here.
Yeah, I just got to scroll. I got to be over here and scroll. Thank you. Or somebody else could scroll. You want to scroll? Who's used to a Mac? Are you used to a Mac? Two-finger scroll. Okay, so they can. Now I can be over here. All right, good. Are you happy over there? Okay, go for it.
Okay. Myself Shrotidas and he's he's my partner. So first we have done that human interaction. So for human interaction, what we have done, I'll just give you a small story based on this.
Yeah, but keep going fast.
Yes,
but yeah.
yes. Because the thing is that in India, there is a very diversity in the culture as well as the food. So when we first get to know each other here, he get to know that I am a Bengali, and I get to know that he is very fond of sports gear. Particularly, he is interested in volleyball, badminton, and football. So based on that, we have decided an interaction. I asked him, if you need to arrange a plate of Bengali food for me, what will you arrange? And he asked me, if I need to bring a sports gear, full attire for him, what are the gears I'll carry? So based on that, he has bought me a combination of food, which is going pretty well, not perfectly, but pretty well. So we have mentioned the percentage of trust. In the below, we have mentioned the measurement of score. Say, 1 minute. So the same way, I bought some sports gear, and he checked that is it meet his expectation, how much it has completed his expectation. Then the same thing we have done with two AI. One is Gemini and one is Perplexity. You can continue.
He is very well known at Gemini, and I am using Perplexity very often. So he wrote the prompt like he is Bengali. He want to get a full plate of the dishes what he is fond of. So the results were means not accordingly.
But the thing is that I'm for the Gemini, what was done? Gemini has mentioned 5 or 6 very famous Bengali foods. But the thing is that combination is not right, because there are few foods with this that must be, there is a must be side dish, but there is more side dish, but there is main course is not, the combination is not perfect, because foods are famous, you can have it alone, but with that combination it is not accurate. Then Perplexity you can say.
Yeah. So in Perplexity, I wrote the prompt, and then it shows that overall, specifically, it focused on the not the gears but the materials which are required. Like for football, it suggested football. For volleyball, it particularly shows that volleyball, and they are not the gears; they are the main items. So we should not be using, means the trust issues are there with the Gemini.
Because if
Either
you
we
need
can-
gear, it's suggesting equipment or sports items, like it has suggested football, volleyball, badminton.
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
As we are not the prompt engineering, so we don't know how to write that kind of prompt easily. So we have tried our best, but we were not satisfied with the result of AI. So the
Trust.
So let's get to the score. Yeah. So the score.
So the trust score we have make it very simple, because as trust is more qualitative manner. So we have given sum of trust rating of each item. Suppose he has bought 5 items. So out of 5, like for each item out of 5, how would I rate that it has matched my expectation? 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5 or 5 out of 5, or it doesn't match my expectation. By the maximum trust, that for each items I can have maximum trust rating of 5. So by divided, we will make it a percentage, and the human trust we have found at 72% and 82.3% by this calculation. Whereas AI trust score, it is almost similar for Gemini and Perplexity, but both scores are below the human trust score.
Yeah.
But it also depends upon the person. Like I know that Bengalis like that kind of food, but if the person doesn't know that Bengalis are fond of these kind of foods, then he won't be able to make the thali properly, and he will be facing issues regarding that. So person to person it varies also.
Okay.
Same way, I also have little interest in sports. So I can think accordingly that what are the gears he might like.
So this might be something like the sports trust score. Like you might have the sports trust score and the food trust
trust
score
score,
or
yes.
something like that. So because it'd be customized to that. You mentioned with the food about how it got the items right, but it didn't have the combination correct.
Right, yes.
Does your formula deal with that?
No. That is
Because your formula could give it 100% then. Wouldn't it give the AI 100% if it got the 5 items?
AI got the 5 items if the combinations was right. If they put the combination, for example, I'm giving you one example. For example, with a burger, we can have tomato ketchup. Okay,
Yeah.
but suppose someone have provided burger with mustard oil, that combination is not right. Maybe mustard oil is useful in any other food
Yeah.
items.
But your equation doesn't have the combination concept, does it?
No. Equation is just based on the personal subjective rating, that how it has matched the expectation.
So I'm thinking of like, so for each of your 5 items, you're going to rate it like 1 through 10 or something on did it get it right for this item?
Yes, 1 to 5.
1 to 5.
1
Did it
to
get it right on this item? Did it get it right on this item? Did it get it right on this item?
Yes.
So on your food one, wouldn't it give it 5s all the way across because they're all good items?
Yes, because in the prompt we have mentioned that we need to make a plate where starter will be there, main course will be there, and dessert will be there.
Yeah.
So maybe the starter is okay in that combination, but the main course, like there is no main course, only side dishes.
Okay.
And
So
in
maybe
the
when it
dessert,
comes
yes.
to the, side dish 3, then you're like rating it down because it's
Yes.
not a main course or something
Yes,
like that.
yes,
Right,
like
okay.
this.
I liked the idea that it could get the individual ingredients but screw up the combination.
Yes.
So that's interesting. I think the math in that particular formula doesn't necessarily reveal that, right?
Yes.
It doesn't have like a penalty for bad combinations. But okay, other thoughts?
So maybe if I understood right, I'm repeating again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. First is starter, second is some item, third is one item, fourth is some item, fifth is a dessert. So your score would depend on the values that 2 and 3 decide. Because the first is independent, fifth is independent.
That depends. If you don't like chicken, okay, you are a vegetarian, for example, but in the starter I have put some items with chicken, and you are expecting something of mushroom or something of paneer. So maybe your trust score, your feedback will get reduced based on that,
Yeah.
right?
Okay, I think we're good for now.
Yeah.
Thank you. Also, my last question is at the top. It has these names, but you've got Ramesh and Vikram. So how do Ramesh and Vikram, are they made up names or those are your names?
It's a made up name.
Okay, that's fine. I was worried there's like some cool Indian name thing where I need to dig a Ramesh out of that or
Yes.
something. It's like, okay. Okay, can you stay for the next one or you don't like this? Okay. Let's do this one. You ready? Do we have the partner? Okay. Okay, you're on. I really like the way y'all are thinking about this. I mean, we're seeing a lot of different kinds of formulas, but it reflects how it's a struggle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so hello everyone. Myself Shayon and he's my partner in this stage. So we did an interaction with another human, in which case our trust decreases. So what happened? A few days ago, I was searching FB Marketplace for buying some sort of things. So I came up with some things that I really need and talked with the lady who was selling the product. So I talked with her, talked about the pricing and all that stuff, and we settled a deal for like 400 Indian rupees. So, and she told me that, okay, send me the money via online. So, and send me the email address, the ID proof for your home, and I will send it via direct to your home, and the product will be neatly packaged to avoid damage. Now, at this point, I have bought some things from every marketplace previously. So what happened, like after I send her the money, she immediately ghosted me from all the platforms and kind of blocked me. So it was evident that I was badly scammed at this moment. So from that point, my trust like kind of slowly degraded over time. That I can't, and now I can't trust the online sellers. Now that there's a fear in me that I may get again scammed. So how will I measure it? So yeah. So the trust score I have made by like keeping your words. So this is the trust score. So it was quantified by number of promises were made during making the deal, and how many number of promises are actually taken care of.
Okay.
So I have like for this the trust code. There were 2 promises were made by the seller that he will give me the product, will ship it to home, and it will be well packaged. So these was the 2 promises that were made, but none of the promises were like taken care of. So I got scammed.
So that's a 0 out of 2.
So this is a 0 score. So in that case, like the trust is completely dissipated. So for the second case, Tej, you want to take over? No. Okay. So for the second case is interaction with the AI agent. This is the case 1. In which case that also trust decreases. What happened? When I use or when we use ChatGPT, in some case, first like I have to know about the weather report. What is the weather report today, or what is the condition of something topic that I want to know. So ChatGPT gave me a complete paragraph about this topic, and I told me, okay, I want to know more about it. So ChatGPT told me, okay, so here is some references that you can look upon for for further insight, for further gaining insight. When I was cross-checking the references that ChatGPT gave me, I found like 2 or 3 references from ChatGPT doesn't work. So it's a made-up reference. It doesn't really work, exist in the real life. So what happened? Like, so in this case, now I had to like again cross-check all the references if I'm going to have some references from ChatGPT. So this is not very useful for every moment. Like if I'm in a hurry, so I need some references. I'm not going to check every, like if I had like 100 list of references, I'm not going to check every 100 references cross-checking by one. So this is the case, trust again decreases. So how did I measure it? This is the validity of the references. This is the trust score measure. So number of references provided with the topic to know more about it, and number of references actually working within this reference list.
Nice.
So say if a topic had like 10 articles,
Sure.
ChatGPT have given me 10 articles, but there are 2 references which are made up. So it's like 80% of the score is valid, but 20% is not working. So which is not very much desirable if you are looking for a reference list to actually include in your work. So this is, and the third case is, Pranav, slow down. Okay. So the third case is interaction with the AI agent, which is trust increase. So this is the case. So this is the case like I bought a phone few days ago. But the problem is even a few years ago, it would have been like very much difficult for me to set all of my data to my new device or new phone, because again, like when we are using a electronic device, we have login into several different apps, several different websites, and every different apps or websites has multiple number of ID and passwords.
Sure.
So if you have to log in again and again and again, but it is very hard for us to remember all the ID and password. So that's where the autofill agent comes to play. It's like if you just log in with your existing email ID that you have logged in your previous device, just log in the email ID in your new device, and all the password managers agent in the autofill agent will always autofill all the passwords, all the datas in your new device. So you don't have to remember all the little bit passwords and IDs again and again and again. So in this case, and it's very much efficient, it works very fluently. So I can surely say I can like very much easily give in the password during the ID verification. So I don't remember have to again and again and again, and I can freely rely on this feature. So in this case, trust increases. So how did I measure it? So it's the summation of ranks gained by each factor and divided by summation of total ranks of the factors, like total assigned ranks of the factors. So I made a Likert scale,
Oh, yeah.
10 level Likert scale. So each one of the topic is accuracy and reliability of the fill up. So how accurate and how reliable all the data are going to be autofill into the
I
section.
get it. Let's just go quickly.
And
yeah.
this is how secure the data transfer is. Is there any kind of data breach that I'm sensing? It might be there, it might be, it might not be. And the third measure is the reduction of the human dependency. How much it like reducted my, how often did I have to remember my topics or my ID and passwords. So I gave it some scores and then some, then add all the scores of the factors gathered from the Likert scale and add them, then compare this to the total rank. So suppose like from that Likert scale, for a made up example, so the accuracy of reliability of the fill up is 10. How secure the data transfer? I might say it is 8, not up to the mark, but it is good. It's not very bad, but
Let's go faster. I mean, I get it.
Okay, so and reduction of the human dependency is 9. So the summation of ranks gained by each factor is 27, and then I divided by like total fact number is 30 by 27. So it's relatively good.
And you could divide by 3 too if you
Yeah,
wanted to get
yeah.
a scale.
Yeah.
Nice. Okay, so you ended up with a total of like 3 trust measures, I think, in there,
Yeah.
right? For different kinds of trust. So
Yeah.
that's nice because you're specific on your task. So like the last one is going to be really specific to this data transfer task. But then if I want to trust, if I'm a company that wants, how do my customers trust my system? Maybe the programmer that developed the data transfer task is really excited about this, but the marketers are like, do they trust, integrative electronic phone company?
Okay.
Right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah,
It depends on the level you're asking. So this might be good at one level, but it might not be good for a global level. I don't know.
I just thought it from the like user perspective. Like,
Yeah, that's right. And that's fine. I'm not trying to criticize. I'm more like, okay, this would be good for one level, but maybe not all the levels.
yeah.
Any other comments on this? We had the, can you scroll to the other measures real quick?
I have one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sir, for that first one,
Yeah.
human interaction,
Yeah.
it can be classified as a extreme situation.
Yeah.
Where someone got scammed. But for example, there your
can stay for the next one
trust
if you
score
want.
came 0.
You can stay for the next one.
Not always.
And not always. I'm just by giving it some example where my trust decreases, but it's not going to happen always. But now I'm a bit skeptical, so that's what I trying to say. So now I'm going to take some measures whenever I'm going to buy online from marketplace. I'm going to double check so that I won't get scammed again. So that's the thing.
Yeah. The promises one is interesting. That can apply in a lot of cases, right?
Yeah.
Promises from, it might be hard to extract promises from technology, but you could still do that. And then the references provided is another specific example. Okay. So nice job.
Thank you.
All right. Are you all up for 2 more teams? If we go quickly, can we stay a little late and hear 2 more teams? Okay. All right, we're going to go to and Prasad. Yeah. So they get a microphone, right? So you don't have to talk through everything. I would just say, summarize some as you go. Okay, I'll come sit over here.
Good afternoon. Good morning, everyone. I'm Ashish Kumar and Prasad Vartiya. So we are now going to have a conversation on AI interaction, which is a interaction. I think scroll up.
The other way?
Scroll up. Off. Yeah. First of all, we'll come to interaction with human. Like as you said before, you start the conversation with your weather. What's your weather like? In India, we'll start with your place. And India is diverse. India is filled with diversity, and the places are divided, and that comes with different types of the food accents, like the structure. And if you know the place where does he or she comes, then we can talk more detail, and we can have more trust on this and get a genuine information. Next scroll. AI interaction. Then we have talked with AI, that's the image generation website. Like in this, we have to get more detailed prompt in this, and if we take little changes in it, and it will give a different result, like the more contrast and um, unsaturated image like structure and more noisy like. So it's not trustable, and we have to get more details in it, and it will be lengthy process, and we have to make more changes, more and more changes in it.
Okay.
Next. Next.
Next one, yeah.
Then the LLM chatbots like structure. And in this, we have to. I have my some experience in it. Like I have put the 30 rows or something of data in it, and it. I said that to modify it, and it gives me the data of 29 or 28 rows, and the last 2 rows are one is missing, but it was trustworthy, and we can feed our data and get some personalized result. So it is helpful, I think.
Good. Okay. Equation.
And going to the trust score, and in this we have the first parameter consistency. It means if we will use the tools daily and the talk with daily, then he will get more details of us, and then it can generate more precise result. And then so accuracy will improve. Then openness, if we share our all the data, our all private data in the, due to it is a LLM, and we can share our private data also in our local devices. So it will help to keep more and more precise. Then safety, it is a security word that's comes in the AI, and if the data doesn't leaks and those types of things, then it will come. This is the trust equation: consistency plus accuracy plus openness divided by the number of criteria that we use, and there is table. So please scroll down. So inside this, I thought that AI LLM, which you run in the local systems, so this will be very helpful and private. So it is one.
And so, do you feel okay about your measure with the LLM scoring higher than the human?
Yes.
I mean, you think you agree with that?
Yes, so like if it comes the human interaction, like first time I interacted with them, and he says some story, and the second time I interacted with them, he tells a different story. Then there is some misconception, missense between it. So trust decreases with that.
Okay. Yeah. Nice. So let's go back to the criteria. The four criteria, like consistency and stuff. Yeah. So the openness, clarity you have is the exchange transparent. I think in the AI world they'll call that transparency. So that's a popular thing. Is like, is the system transparent? And on the safety, you were more about like, is the data private and that sort of
Privacy,
like
or
privacy.
local message.
Okay. There's also this term in the AI world about human alignment. Like, is the AI aligned with the human goals, or does it have some other goal, like extract human information for its own purposes? So then it's less aligned. So that could be an interesting thing you could fold into there potentially. Okay, any comments on their scoring method? Okay.
For openness and safety, doesn't it like very similar, transparent?
Similar, like.
From where they are getting the data and from.
I guess I feel like the safety is about what's happening to your data, and the transparency is more like, how does it work under the hood? Like, is it clear how it came up with this answer, or are you like, why not do
Actually,
that?
the openness is what is here to the AI and LLM, and the safety is what AI gives we gave the diagnosis data. The software gives the diagnosis data to the software companies like that. That is the safety.
Okay, good. All right, thank you. Nice job. All right, last team.
नहीं तो बस बोलती हूँ.
I'll have you up for the next team. This is sort of cool. I've never used the tabs before.
Yeah.
It's good. I've never used the Google tabs. I was like, okay, this is good.
Okay, good afternoon. It was really great to look at the way you all have looked at the same problem. But at the same time, we did not start our project with interaction and discussing interactions because we didn't want to go streamlined, but we tried to discuss multiple ones and figure out what are the factors that help us humans to figure out which factors affect our trust. So we also went by the regular Google definition and said firm belief in the reliability, truth, or ability of something or someone. Can we go down, please?
Before going to the trust matrix and we are defining on the some factors that what will be the trust matrix, first we need to understand what is trust. And for that we have uses some factors that how humans decide trust.
So we try to them based on what are self-dependent and what are the factors which are dependent on others. And here you can get a list of them. But at the same time, we also try to understand when we start talking about AI that are there any similarities? Is there a reason why our AI is the way they are? Is it because the following factors help us trust a human, and hence it would finally help us trust an AI as well? Can you go down, please?
Self-dependent, dependent on others.
So we saw how a lot of you guys have done worked on LLMs, and it seemed very complicated because I think it also depends a lot upon the human preference of the LLM. If they want the LLM to be very open, if they want them to give multiple ideas, or do they want to focus on a single one? So the AI we focused on was the Amazon AI review summarizer, because there we will be able to understand the ideal utility better. So what we could see was that the utility ideally is for any human. We want to save time because we don't want to read through all of the reviews. We want to reduce the cognitive load because going through them and then making a list of stuff. We want to speed up decision making. We want to highlight patterns, pros and cons. Can you go down, please? We want to also have a balanced view and understand from a all around perspective, and we want to improve accessibility because if there is somebody who lacks reading capacity or is using a screen to screen text to listening view
Speech, text to speech.
text to speech, thank you. So it would be easier for them to make a decision. But what are the downsides? Can we go down? Often it can be slightly up on the downsides. Yeah. Okay. So what are the downsides? The bots are oftentimes not filtered. I'm not sure if Amazon allows bots or if they have a moderation system, but we assumed. There is a lack of emotion and context. Sometimes we are not able. Earlier, we were not able to see which review is being referred to, but now we can. A lot of paid reviews are there, so even they are considered because there is no way to filter through them. And the extreme reviews also get filtered if there is a bad language or it just gets deleted. AI cannot detect sarcasm, and also even if we think and we go through the summaries and there is a bad summary, we can't report it, we can't give feedback. So there is no, we don't know how they make their AI better. So here we can see that there are 4,000 reviews, and the AI is basically filtering through them. There was also a set which said the return based on the return volume. It also increases the trust somehow because we get to know what the other people are doing. And we go down, please. This is what it usually looks like, the AI. It gives us a summary, and then it also gives us certain factors which we should look at. So the places where they're showing a tick, it's usually where the positive feedback is much more than the negative feedback. The places where they have the stop signal is where the negative feedback is more than the positive. And the one they haven't said anything is usually both the pros and cons are neutral.
So I have a very recent story of my friend Taran, whose name is Taran. He was really confused. He was ordering on Amazon. He was seeing a product. There were certain reviews. Many reviews were there. So rather than he could not decide whether the product is good or bad due to positive and negative reviews. So there's a review summarizer, as my Ria said. So out of the review summarizer, he was able to direct about the product, that what are the main flaws or the drawbacks of the product and how it is good for. That's why he said.
As for me, I usually don't go by the review summarizer because I'm not able to detect the tone of the voice, and that is why I'm able to figure out, does this seem genuine? Does this seem like they have highlighted, like it's the details they talk about which makes me think, okay, maybe this is a genuine review. Can we go down? So our trust evaluation matrix was based on positives and negatives. What we realized is a deal breaker is a bias. The moment we think like the review is, like not considering bad reviews, or it seems to be biased towards a certain place, our trust just dissipates into it. So, can we go down? So our trust factor consisted of the following factors, which we thought is common with human to human interaction as well. One is transparency. Is it showing how it came to the summary? And consistency. Is it being consistent with the way it's showcasing positive and negative? How accurate is it based on the reviews that have been mentioned? How relevant is it? Is there a context which is mentioned for them, and is there a bias? And we would see that the same context goes with us in a human to human interaction, because the moment all four of them are directly proportional, whereas the last one is reverse proportional. So what we're supposed to be doing is that we rate transparency, TCARE, out of 5, because we saw a lot of people rated out of 10, but we were having troubles figuring out, is this a 2 or is it a 3, because it's very tough the moment it's not binary. And bias would be binary because either you're biased or you're not biased. Can we go down? So this was the score. Oh, I didn't get loaded. This is the trust score equation, and it also has a mnemonic to it because you like take care minus B. So we. Do you want to say?
Yeah. So this equation really help us to find and measure the trust, how much trust we do about our product, and the biased effect, as he already mentioned about whether we are biased towards the review or not. So I have a one point which I have noted down, that trust is not about something which we do on the accuracy or something. There are some subcategories also. These are the major categories which we have highlighted, but there are subcategories also. So trust is basically is on the transparency and how much we are able to ask the AI. We just don't trust the AI on the based upon accuracy. There are 3 contexts which I found it out: the transparency, context awareness, and freedom to ask question to AI. That's how we build up trusting. Continue, yeah.
Okay. So the picture that did not get loaded kind of showed us a scale that minus 1 to 2 is not trustable, like do not trust it. 3 was, and then 4 to 5 was, it's probably trustable. So can we go down?
On the scale of 3, it's like we are neutral towards it. Like we can't decide. It is again the confusion where the user is stuck again.
Like maybe neutral kind of means maybe you should go through the reviews. Can we go down? So this currently, if you see, if you click on a particular subset, then you're able to see what are the responses. But what I usually do is that I go to the 2-star rating and the 1-star rating to read through the negatives and see whether it is valid or not. So that is one way where we can figure out whether the reviews and the summaries are effective or not. Can you go down? So we did an example for the noise color fit smartwatch, which had over 100,000 reviews. It had high volume, the battery life, display clarity, comfort, according to the AI, was fever features which were good. Can we go down?
See if you can go a little faster.
Yeah. A lot of times in the 1 to 2 stars, it failed to register the complaints. For example, there were some extremities which had happened with some consumers, but they did not consider it at all, which was kind of like they did mention it, but not good enough. Can you go down? So this is how we rated it out of 5, and more. And but for the bias, since it had considered the negatives but did not mention the extremes, we still considered it a 1. Can we go down? And hence we got a 3.54 rating, which again mentions somehow that you need to go through the reviews yourself because it is an A rating. And the conclusion?
And in conclusion, I would like to conclude with we can also measure, we have already derived the formula from the factors, and we are moving forward to the things like this, and if we have more time, and then we are able to find out more about the chances why the data is limited, and the subcategories maybe are more defined in that way.
Thank you.
Okay. So your bias number is effectively weighted very tiny, right, compared to the other 5 factors, because you don't have it in. It's just a -1. Is that okay? Like, did you intend that?
No, I think we did something wrong.
I mean, you see what I mean, right? Like, because you could have the others are going to have a way larger effect on your trust score. I mean, I thought maybe you're like, oh yeah, we don't care that much about bias.
No, actually, we wanted to put more focus, but we clearly didn't work on the equation enough.
Right. So you could fiddle with the equation some on that. You could also have it spelled trace instead of take care if you want. I don't know. Trace B, B trace. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, other thoughts on their measure?
2 plus 4 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 minus 1 by 6. Would it make any difference?
It's not 6, it's 5.
No, I'm asking you as an
You're saying,
alternative.
let's
Because
include
if
it.
you reverse code bias, and you reverse code bias and don't put minus, and you add that score, and the denominator will be 6, would it change the score? Instead of doing -1, you reverse code the bias coding, and then just add it like the others and divide it by, now it becomes
By
6,
6.
right? Will it make a difference? I don't.
So they could play with it, I guess. Yeah.
We're clearly lacking on the equation part, so maybe we should work again on that. Maybe we should be supposed to multiply bias with a factor so that we
Could be a
can.
multiplicative factor. Yeah.
Multiplying that might be more accurate.
Yeah.
I don't know about accuracy because everything becomes subjective. So that was also something which was bugging us, that things are so subjective, like the way I look at it and how I prioritize a particular factor.
Yeah. So some of your measures, who had measures where you were doing like people ranking something 0 to 5, or people are ranking something, right? Okay. And then is anybody having measures where it's not human ranking? It's like we're just counting stuff. Like it's objective, right? I thought there was at least one going by there was objective where there wasn't a human ranking things.
It was a number of promises.
Yeah, the promises one. Yeah, that's right. So if you can rely on concrete stuff,
Makes sense.
it's maybe a little easier. Okay, thank you. Yes. So, thank you for your help. So I'll just wrap up here with, I think this is a really interesting exercise. I mean, it may be frustrating or you're like, okay, this is a toy exercise. But I feel like this is the essence of the cognitive engineering efforts. You're trying to use an engineering mindset, an engineering lens to try to measure stuff that's human and fuzzy. And if some company hires you and says, wow, we really have to increase trust of our product, or wow, we really have to increase knowledge among the workforce or something like this, it's going to feel fuzzy, and they're going to leave it up to you to figure out how to do that, right? And you're going to have maybe some ideas and tools on how to do that, I hope, from this course. So I think the other thing, just for the exam, it's like 40 or 50 multiple choice questions. I think it's not based any on the readings, right? So if you can just scroll through slides, at least for mine, it's all in the slides. I think about 10 or 12 of the questions are from Prof. Mohit and his talks. He gave you 2 talks, right? Yeah. So I think we're back at 2 for that.
Is there a possibility to failing the exam as well?
I don't know quite how that'll work. Try not to fail, just in case. Yeah. Okay, so thank you a lot.